Hi, I'm Will Sedgwick,
I'm Gabe.
and this is Inside the Bot. Hi, Gabe.
How are you going?
Are you alright?
I'm quite tired.
Oh, I was feeling awful last
Oh,
night.
I've got belchy as well. Were you feeling awful last night?
Yeah,
What was happening?
I don't know. I didn't even go out and get sozzled.
Well, did you sort us out a transportation vehicle for us travelling in time?
Well,
What? No, do you mean what? You must have done.
the
I tell you what,
DeLorean's in the shop.
if you haven't done one, why don't you
I've
go
got-
and do one, travel back in time, tell yourself to sort yourself out, and then come back, and then this will be fine.
And put it in the pocket of my shorts.
What is it? He actually is.
Russell.
What is it?
It's my time turner.
Oh, nailed it! So
But
we're
it's-
going Harry Potter style.
It's not your normal time turner. It's a bolt instead of, well, it's a nut, obviously. that I
Oh, it's
have
a
to
nut
turn.
on a bolt.
Yeah, it's a nut on a bolt. I have to turn it.
Is it little?
I'd
Does it
say
have
it
best
was.
driver written on the back of it? Because that wouldn't be yours, would it?
No, that wouldn't be mine. Yeah, it's just a little nut.
So you got a little nut that you put
I've
on
got
a
a
bolt,
little nut.
and then we travel. How many turns do you think we need?
So we're going back to season 1, episode 2.
So that's like a year
a year.
and a bit.
Have you got a drill anywhere?
Might
You might
need
have to turn it
drill.
quite a
I
lot.
think you might need to go.
Um,
I reckon about. Let's say. What did Dumbledore say? He said about 3 turns should do it for a day. So I think we're going to need about. Let's be. Let's say do about. Should we do?
9,000.
No,
That's
a
too far.
day. We've
Yeah,
gone back.
crap,
I don't want to
sorry.
go back to the Middle Ages.
Yeah, I get confused.
No,
with numbers.
don't. Where are we? I think we should do. Let's do 400 days.
It's probably about right.
Yeah, so
If not,
400
we can just sit around for a bit until that
So you
happens.
start turning, and then we'll start the wibbly wobbliness. Turn
I'm
it.
turning.
You're not. You're not using it. You've just got your hands in your lap. Turn it.
Play with my little nut.
Turn it.
All right.
He's turning it. What the hell? That was a late hit.
Christ.
Oh my god, did you? I feel a bit funny, to be honest. I'm not sure time travel, that really does your tummy in.
That sorted me out.
Like jet lag, team. If you get jet lag, like if Balesy ever travels to England, I don't think he's ever been here because it's way too far and he probably doesn't know where it is.
He's only been to Miami and
He's
LA.
just like driving around in a massive hot rod, probably, with loving everyone. Anyway, if he came here, he'd feel all funny.
Loving everyone.
Because they all, it's like, it's the age of Aquarius, isn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah? So
Classic Balesy.
they love that. Balesy in his age of Aquarius.
He's filthy.
He's just wearing a little cloth, going around loving everyone with all paint.
Can we stop this now?
Body paint.
Can we stop what happened in your
but
dream
I'm
last
not. It's not my dream. It's the real life. It's what Americans. What happens in America?
Okay.
They're like that.
I'm
Anyway,
not going over there.
so
Sounds scary.
We got a little bit of jet lag now. Is all. That's what it is. So if you're feeling funny,
No, I
or
was
you wanna
feeling
throw
good.
Up,
I think I've always been 400 days ahead of where I should be.
you were born too late. That's what it is. You feel
Could be
better.
it. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Shall we watch
Watch.
the show and then
Oh, let's watch the show.
pause it here, watch the show
Let's-
because we've gone back in time
Let's watch the show.
to 7/8 Central,
Yeah.
whatever night it was on.
And this is BattleBots episode
2.
2. And what's it called? You didn't do it, did you?
Oh, I always forget that we name them. I've kind of stopped naming them.
Why?
Naming them was fun in the beginning, but there's only so many names you can give to
Can
them.
I name this
You
one?
can
I'm
no,
gonna
because
call
your
this-
names.
What?
That one time you named it Sweaty and Sweary.
Yeah, we didn't get many
We
listens.
didn't get any listens because it just sounded like it was some filthy.
I'm naming this one.
BattleBots
I'm
porn.
naming this one. properly.
No.
No, it's not going to be filthy though.
All right.
Donald, you make me furious.
No.
What's wrong with that
Name
one?
them in it.
What?
You can't put someone's name in it.
Why not?
You can't.
Why not?
It'll make him furious.
Will it?
Yes.
Why will it make him furious?
You could have furious in the title.
Well, can we call this one the late hit then?
All right. The late hit is good.
The late hit.
We could do the late hit.
The late hit. There you go.
So this is season 1, episode 2.
The late hit.
The late hit. Now, shall we crack on with talking about the robots in it?
Yes. Who have we got?
The first one
Yeah.
is Lockjaw.
Yeah.
I'd say based on Dissector.
Pretty much, Donald's been working on the similar design for a long time.
Cool.
So it's basically a large 4-wheel drive robot.
6-wheel drive.
6-wheel drive. In 6-wheel drive, exactly. He does change it a lot. 6-wheel drive. He's a veteran. They call him a veteran of BattleBots. So he's built a lot of bots in his time. He's been inside a lot of bots.
It'd make more sense if he was a veteran of like a robot war than of a.
No, BattleBots. He's BattleBots.
I know, but he can't be a veteran, can he? It's not a war.
Of a battle. You mean? Oh, you're right. But then we get mixing our franchises, and that's.
I know, it's filthy.
That's disgusting. So, he's a veteran. He's got the scars. He's got the scars on his bot. He's got them. He's got them, and he's got Lockjaw, which actually I really like Lockjaw. It's always a spendy robot, Lockjaw.
I don't know what it's gonna do though, really.
Well, we'll see. Let's not go crazy.
It's just like attaching a load of kitchen knives to a robot and then seeing what's gonna happen.
It's a spendy robot.
Anyway, are they gonna grip those jaws? That's the plan.
Yeah. He's a grip. He's a gripper and a lifter. Remember, in his thing, he loves a little bit of a grapple. I like a grapple. I like a grapple robot. That's not my words. That's his words. So he loves a grapple robot. Like
just
a shark.
love to get hold of those butts.
Just grappling them down and really taking them for a roll like that.
Okay.
And that's from the tested YouTubes. If you want to watch them, that's Donald talking about more about Lockjaw on that. So it's worth a watch. Should we do Overhaul?
Yeah, so that's kind of like a lifter.
This one's funny. I love this. The kids from MIT.
Yeah.
I'm convinced they're not students at MIT.
Or kids.
Or kids, are they? They're like, maybe they're kidults.
What?
A kidult. Have you heard of the term?
As in an adult who acts like a kid.
Exactly. But I think they're actually junior researchers or even professors, probably, at MIT. They're not the kids from MIT. They are working at MIT. I'm convinced of it.
Okay. Who cares, really?
No, I don't
they
really
do
care.
stuff at MIT.
They work at MIT.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they know each other from there or you know, if they just met in the pub.
So they don't.
The kids from the pub.
They don't have a pub. They don't have pubs in America.
Yeah, they have like.
No, they have bars.
Yeah, they got English pubs.
They don't. That's Irish pubs they have.
Not got English ones.
They don't. I've never seen one.
You never been to an English pub?
What's it called? O'Grady's. That would be Irish, wouldn't it?
No, I went to an English pub called The Swan once.
No, you did not. What?
And it was run by some northern guy. And he was like, no, not that one. This one.
Idiot.
It was weird.
Right. Overhaul. Overhaul here is definitely almost like a garage bot, isn't it? It was quite crudely put together.
Yeah, okay.
When we travel back in time. Unpolished. When I'm saying I'm not knocking it, it's a quality bot. It's got a lot of things happening in it. It had a promised shuffle drive. But we're on to people now.
What's a shuffle drive?
A shuffle drive was like almost like a walker. But I'm on to people now at BattleBots when you do your application. And I'm realising now when you do your application, you need to say, it's at a laser space station destroying beast. Think of the Death Star with legs.
It's got a nuclear reactor
got a nuclear reactor. And you go, Greg and Trey go, that is going to be amazing. And then you turn up and go, that didn't really work, so we just built that.
We just put lipos in it instead.
And you've gone, oh shit. So the shuffle thing was never going to work. They replaced them with wheels straight away. But this is another clampy lifter. So we've got two clampy lifters.
A lot of clampy lifters.
Clampy lifters. Ooh, I'm going to clamp and then I'm going to lift you up. Don't
know how I feel about clampy lifters.
When they actually work, if you travelled forward in time, when they work genius, don't they? The crowd loves it. You know that one.
Quite well.
That one. The one.
I know the one.
We can't talk about it because we're not allowed to talk about stuff that's happened in the future when we're back in time.
Yes.
But you know that one.
Yes.
I feel you're lackluster today.
You
need to perk up a bit.
It's the clampy lifters.
Let's look at this fight. Let's talk about this fight, and we're not going to spend very long on it.
Yeah, Overhaul.
I want to really get
I don't
right
like the
to
decision of this fight.
Let's just get to the end of it. So there's a lot of pushing
Overhaul
around.
Was pushing around.
I'm grabbing you. I'm not grabbing you.
Flipped, but it doesn't really matter.
Like that.
And then there's just
And then that's that fight. And then the end of the fight, there's the bit where Donald.
Overhaul got kind of flipped on its end.
And it got knocked over and it couldn't self-right, could it?
And Lockjaw was like, yeah. And then he like went, oh shit, I've got to actually do some damage at some point.
So he drove into him.
So he drove into him after the buzzer.
Right.
Way after the buzzer.
And then the MIT kids start,
what the hell, man?
what the hell, man? Like that. That's a late hit. And they go crazy. But do you know what
Is this guy a veteran or what?
Do you know what I think's happening there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, these guys haven't got house robots, right? So what I think Donald was actually doing, and we need to talk to Donald.
Yeah, well...
And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think Donald was actually trying to put Overhaul back on its wheels in order for it to be safely removed from the arena. So in RW, the house robots always put the robots back on their wheels if they can. Yes. To make them safe for a human to go in with them. Now, I think that's what he was doing, but he failed so badly because he got entangled with it, and then he was trying to undo it. I watched it again, and I've watched it twice because I went back in time again to go either way, you guys, just in case you're not wondering how I did it.
You went back and then back forwards, and you've gone back again?
I took the bolt and just did it half turn and left you static for a moment.
Oh, okay.
It's fine, you didn't notice.
That's really bad for you, though.
I know, but, for people's bot-loving times, and I need to look clever, I thought I'd do that. I think he's actually trying to self-right, put that robot back in its wheels and failing spectacularly. And then, when you do something, you're trying to help and it gets worse and worse and worse. You go, oh, shit, sorry, mate.
Okay, so he's trying to right it. But the ramming into him 4 seconds after the thing had gone, you can't really defend that.
No, I think he actually lost.
You can't defend that.
I don't think it was actually a hit. I think it was actually...
It's definitely a hit.
I think he went to drive up slowly, but he just...
No, he's not retarded.
I think he might be. It's like classic Laurel and Hardy moment. Oh, I'll help you out. No, I'll beat you in the face.
No, I'm not.
Anyway, so you think then, to be honest, that, for me, the judge's decision was the correct decision because...
Really?
Yeah, even with the late hit, which is not a late hit, he did pretty much own them most of the time.
I don't know, there's a lot of pushing around.
And at the end, remember, before the buzzer went off, they were on their side. They couldn't self-right.
Yeah. But they weren't.
They would have been counted out had there been more time. Moving on. Let's look at Bronco v Witch Doctor.
They hadn't even started the count,
I
though,
don't
had they?
care about that. We've done that now.
It was a split decision anyway.
It was a split decision.
One of them was right, 2 of them were wrong. Lockjaw went through. We'll talk about Bronco and Witch Doctor then.
Bronco and Witch Doctor.
Bronco is a quality bot.
From Inertia Labs.
Yeah.
Really nicely built all the way through. What are you laughing at?
Used to be Ziggy.
It didn't. It's never been Ziggy. It's always been Bronco. Always. And it's never lucky. It was never lucky, nor was it Ziggy. It was only ever Bronco.
I'm going to cut that out anyway.
Don't cut that out.
It was a joke.
No,
that was a little reference.
It's a funny joke. Anyway, for those who listen to lots of Inside the Bots, you'll know that one from a long time ago. You might want to re-listen again. Bronco v Witch Doctor. Bronco is a super beast, completely made of titanium and a huge robot. And the reason why it's huge is because it's filled with tanks of nitrogen.
Yes.
And it has a 63mm bore on its ram.
Is that large?
Not really. Not really at all. My featherweight has the same bore in its ram.
So what's he doing that's so special?
It's got incredible amount of pressure. I think it's pushing over 4,500.
Is there a limit to the pressure allowed?
You're allowed to have as much pressure as you like, as long as you can be deemed competent to look after it. But I imagine there would be a ceiling at some point. Greg and Trey would be scared at some point when they go, that's just too much. But I think it's got 4,500 PSI of, that's massive.
That is massive.
Witch Doctor.
I can't even get that into my bike tyres.
You wouldn't want
Got to 120.
And then you ran
That's my ceiling.
You ran out of puff, didn't you? You couldn't push any more.
I'm scared it's going to explode at 120.
You probably don't need to do that into your tyres. More than that. It's crazy time.
That's the maximum allowed.
That is the max. Can we talk about Witch Doctor now?
Well, if we don't want to talk about my bike tyres anymore, that's fine.
No,
yeah, I suppose.
Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is...
it's an awesome vertical spinner. It's got its little mini bot.
Shaman.
And...
Shaman. There's no R in there. It's Shaman.
Shaman.
Minotaur.
Shaman. It's fire breathing.
Yeah, it is.
Which is awesome. Probably the best mini bot we've seen in BattleBots ever, even in the future.
Are you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm predicting that in future episodes we won't see a mini bot as good as Shaman.
Okay. Is this anything to do with Miss Suarez? Is that what you're saying? You're trying to be, get on her good side.
Who?
Miss Suarez.
Who?
I think she drives Shaman.
No, it's nothing to do with that.
Is she not? Good. I'm just checking for that.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird. You'll have to edit this bit out.
Of course.
Because you've gone all weird. You can't make it into a joke, so it's obviously true.
You've gone weird.
You've gone weird. Right. Witch Doctor. Big old vertical spinner. Painted. Its vertical spinner is actually in the shape of a skull, which is nice.
It's nice.
And it's painted and it looks really cool. So Greg said one time, Witch Doctor, classic example of an awesome paint job. Witch Doctor without its paint would be, and without its theme would be a box with a vertical spinner.
But they own it.
But they totally own it, and they completely give it the old. Oh, I'm gonna go.
They got a little self-writer on the top.
They do not
Or
have a self-writer. I think you've got confused with the future.
Is that the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Witch Doctor is designed to run both ways up.
It goes both ways.
Exactly.
Cool.
It runs on its back wheels when it's upside down.
Okay. So then we have the fight.
Yes.
And there's fire.
Yeah, that's as exciting.
There's a nice little...
There's some... Shaman's lobbing. He's not that great at controlling himself, but he does a lot of wiggling about, flailing fire everywhere.
Yeah, which is nice.
And it gives it a good special effect.
And unfortunately, Bronco is flipping awesome.
Bronco just goes up like, hang!
It's not a very long fight, this one.
No.
Because once he gets cracking with his flipper, it's like he's up, and then boom. Headbutted out of the arena.
Exactly.
Headbutted.
Exactly. Owned.
Glorious times.
Done.
So Bronco wins. It's a really nice fight, actually.
There you go. Exactly.
Proud of
Counter. Let's do the next one. Tombstone v Counter Revolution. What is happening here?
My notes for Counter Revolution just say good luck.
Counter Revolution is a true badness. If ever there was a fodder bot put out there, what makes me furious about Counter Revolution is the amount of money that it cost. Because it obviously, from looking at it, the parts in it are spendy. So it's just a pity that it was just
put one disc on it.
Yeah, it's just really...
And make it horizontal. And don't be as bad as you are, really. That's an example of don't take have one big weapon because that's going to store more energy.
Yeah.
Just why?
But bang! Ray gives him some more, he's done. I think we all know Tombstone by now. If you don't know Tombstone...
It's a beast. They do that nice little video on it anyway.
They do. It's got a horizontal spinner. It's a monster. Yeah, there you go.
Exposed wheels.
But Ray doesn't need...
Ray doesn't care.
Ray balls out. He balls out, so he doesn't care. He goes, go for my wheels if you can, because everyone goes, oh, it's weakness, it's got exposed wheels. And I've said that before. But Ray, he's so ballsy.
You have to be able to take a hit, otherwise... Because he is going to hit you. You can spin around on a dime.
Exactly. So he can just go on a dime, and then you're launched. And when that blade, when it goes up to full speed, it just becomes
it's scary.
Blur, doesn't it?
Does it have a death hum?
I think it probably does.
You can't really hear it.
No, we need to hear it better. But actually, it doesn't have a death hum because it might not be able to trap its air inside its body, its chassis, because it's all open, isn't it? So it might not get a death hum. Anyway.
So the fight, it just kind of, breaks Counter Revolution.
Yeah. And
then Ray at one point goes, one more. Which I like.
And everyone goes, go on then, Ray.
Go on, Ray.
Have a go.
Does he say it to the Counter Revolution guys? Oh,
yeah.
Like, yeah, all right.
I love that. I love the fact that he just goes, do you want another one? One more? Oh, go on then, Ray. Have a go at some bits as well.
That was a nice fight. Nice, scary fight. And then the next one. So Tombstone won that. And then we had Complete Control and Ghost Raptor.
So Complete Control is a veteran of BattleBots, and so is Ghost Raptor, also a veteran of...
Yep.
Oh, not the actual robots, but the people.
The people are veterans.
But Complete Control has been going through different guises of that same design a long time. So he's another clampy lifter robot, but with the added bonus of flames. And I do quite like the look of it. It does look quite cool. I love the way the finish on the armour's nice. It's quite a different looking robot.
Yeah.
What alarms me, and I don't normally talk about the people, is the sort of the costumes and the jackets.
Yeah, I know you've spoken a lot to me about how they confuse you.
They do confuse me.
They bring out feelings inside you that you're not really sure
exactly. And I'm not comfy with that. I want to look at it.
You just repress those feelings.
Yeah, I'm going to bolt them back down again. They'll be gone.
Yeah,
They'll be fine.
You should.
These are the bad boys of BattleBots.
And that's another, because you like a bad boy.
I love a bad boy. You know that.
So it brings out those feelings even more for you.
No, I'm not going to go there.
What were you going to say there?
What?
You think you prefer a bad?
Nothing. We're going to leave it like that.
Ghost Raptor, yeah.
Chuck Pizza. He's always like squinty and going, yeah, I'm going to get you, buddy. I'm going to get you.
He's working out.
He's working out. He's doing that boxing.
He's punching stuff.
A
lot of anger there.
Do you think? A lot of repression.
Frustration.
Is it, because of the complete control thing? Maybe it's those suits again.
You might have something.
I can see how that weirded him out, actually, because I'm feeling for him.
I mean, you and Chuck Pizza, quite similar. You're always lashing out at people. You're always going to weird exercise classes.
You're right.
Building robots.
Maybe we're too similar.
Maybe you guys are fighting to repress feelings.
Maybe.
You should get in touch with him. You could form a support group.
Maybe. Anyway, let's talk about the fight. Complete Control is a clampy lifter. Ghost Raptor is a
spinner with a wedge.
Helicopter spinner.
With a wedge.
With a wedge. In fact, it's actually a helicopter lifter spinner. Because it lifts up as that wedge as well, doesn't it? It can lift itself up.
Oh, yeah, stupid. I don't know why it's got so many things going on.
Complete Control comes in with a large box, a present. Because who's the person who runs Complete Control? What's his name? Is it Gareth?
Something Young, isn't it? Derek Young?
Derek Young. Well, I was thinking Gareth must be his brother.
Gareth
Young. Derek Young. Derek's read the rules. This is classic. There's always a kid at school that reads the rules and finds a weird loophole. And you go, for fuck's sake. And Pizza was like...
And he's wearing a skirt into school.
Wearing a skirt into school.
I can't wear a skirt.
What the hell? So, anyway, he does the present. This fight starts. Ghost Raptor hits the present. The present's full of net, and the fight stopped with a bit of controversy.
Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, brilliant.
Oh, it's not
nice one, mate.
Great. That's really cool. It's not." And then Gary's like, "It's not the way I would win."
Gary?
He's not called Gary, is he?
For fuck's sake!
Chuck.
No one's called Gary. Just get it out of your head.
Where's Gary from?
I don't know.
Oh, I tell you what, it's weird. My gym instructor is called Gary Pizza, and this one is called Chuck Pizza. So they must be related.
You're obsessed with Gary. Get over him. Is that who your repressed feelings are for?
No, he's an older man.
Is he a bad boy?
No, I don't think so. You're making this so gay, this episode.
You're making it gay.
No, I'm not making it gay. I'm a happily married man to a woman. You know that.
Me too.
You're not.
Nearly.
You're not. You're Schrodinger still. You know that.
Until I'm out of the box.
Until you're out of the box, you're still Schrodinger. Anyway, we'll come back to that fight later on because there's obviously a lot of arguing in the pits for at least the rest of this show.
Basically, it's just he got netted and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, good one, mate. We didn't put that in the rules." And it's like,
idiot.
Oh, but actually,
it's rubbish.
It's a bit shit, isn't it? And he's like, "Oh yeah, I suppose it is."
Let's go on to the next one. Stinger v Shredderator.
So Stinger is a lifter wedge thing.
Big old fat wedge.
Got bots in other competitions as well,
Lots of bots
right?
in other competitions.
He's got bots all over the place.
He's got a bandage on his hand as well, which worries me, that bandage.
Why?
I don't know, I just couldn't stop looking at it.
Does he always have a bandage on his hand?
Well, I hope not, but he had a bandage on his hand.
He might have some illness or something that means he has that bandage, and you shouldn't mention that.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying the bandage worried me.
Well, you're worried for his health.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but I hope he gets better.
All I could look at is the bandage and worry about what's wrong with him.
It's a big bandage as well.
It is a big bandage.
Maybe it's a small cut though and the controller would press on it if he didn't have the bandage.
Maybe he gets so angry he has to have a bandage, like a pre-bandage, before he wounds himself.
Maybe he grips too tight on the controller.
You can often do that if you get too excited to grip too tight, can't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, leave that alone. Shredderator is a full-body spinner with teeth. And these look like all-American guys. They've painted Shredderator with their American flag.
So patriotic.
Exactly.
I wish we had more of that over here.
Really? Okay.
No,
It's a little bit too much,
I think, yeah, just rein it in a little bit.
Just rein it in a bit. Yeah, maybe subdue the colours a bit.
Just make it red, white, and blue. Yeah, have that as your colour scheme.
But yeah, red, white, and blue, but more of like a cross shape, maybe. If you made the red, white, and blue, but more of a cross shape with other kite shapes going through it.
Sounds good, actually. Yeah,
It does, doesn't it?
Draw it out for me.
You could call it like the Union flag, couldn't you?
Yeah,
That would be really.
because they're United States, so you could have a flag of union for them.
And we could lend them one. We could
lend them one, yeah, sure.
We can use ours.
And then we could tax them.
Yeah, in fact, they owe us a lot of money from that tea
Perfect.
business, don't they?
That's
I'm still
a lot of
furious
tea
about
business.
that.
Don't know what that is.
That tea business. Anyway,
Would we let them vote though if we taxed them? No.
It would be stupid.
It can't be trusted.
No.
That'd be ridiculous.
They just have to vote and love the sovereign. They
Yeah.
can vote, but just for the Queen.
And there are no other candidates.
Of course.
Perfect.
That's how monarchies work every time. Right, so we're going to have... was our battery good?
That's fine, yeah.
Oh, good. I was worried about that. Stinger turns Shredderator over. Done.
He does, yeah, that's it. He takes a hit because he's got a wedge, and then he knocks him over.
Boom.
Perfect. Overdrive and chomp.
Overdrive
Overdrive is like got a nice drive on it, you'd say. And a wedge
He's
on
got
the
a
front.
lovely drive with a wedge, and apparently the wedge is meant to lift up and flip really fast.
And flip them over.
Yes, but overdrive. Do you see that?
Perfect.
Overdrive is also the dude is a veteran of BB from before.
Cool.
He's built stuff before. Chomp.
It's a clampy firebot, kind of
Love Chomp. This
pincer.
Do you know what I think? I like this version of Chomp a lot.
Because it's got a chomp.
I love.
Do you think they should have kept? Because it's a pneumatic crusher, right?
No. Electric crusher.
Is it electric? It
Yeah.
looks pneumatic.
No,
It's
it's
like
electric. It's electric.
that big ram that comes out.
And Zoe's talking about it on their tested video, which is well worth watching.
Oh yeah, I can't remember really.
The only thing that worried me was being powered by a drill, which seems very sort of vastly underpowered for BattleBots.
It's weird, but like it's her first bot, isn't it?
It is her first bot, and when you build your first bot,
Things go wrong.
things go wrong. I did worry about Chompy from the beginning because of its thin armor and it's just too big. But I still love Chompy. So Chompy's Overdrive. Overdrive pushes Chompy around.
And onto the screws.
And on, the screws. Do you know what? The screws are so violent. These first few episodes, they are super,
But at this
violent.
point, I don't think that Chomp has any armor underneath.
Well, no, it doesn't.
So,
But those
not
screws,
even a plate underneath.
those screws are vicious this time. They are rippy rips.
I'm not sure they're that vicious.
They are vicious.
I think
I reckon they tone them down. If you ask Greg next time you talk to him and say, hey, did you turn the screws down?
Alright.
He'll go, totally, because they were violent beyond belief.
I'll have a word with Greg and we'll see.
Talk to him. Overdrive wins that fight.
Oh, you know what's next?
What? Radioactive. V's sweet revenge.
If you're the Queen and you're listening to this, turn off now.
Because you're going to get furious.
Now this plastic monstrosity with a piddly little hammer, I don't even want to talk about it. It's from the UK.
So
That's
radioactive.
all we're going to say about it.
It's from the UK, but can I tell you where its hammer comes from?
B&Q?
No, its actual mechanism for its hammer. Oh, I've forgotten the name of it. No, it's gone.
It's just depressing.
It is depressing. Let's just talk about it. Do you know what's equally more depressing though?
What?
Sweet revenge that it's put up against.
They've tried.
But this is meant to be Catholic schoolgirls, apparently. I think it was.
And
but,
the teacher.
yeah, but the teachers obviously built it, and then it was terrible.
I don't think the teachers built it. I think they all had a hand in that.
That's the classic thing of we're building a robot at school when we're spending all our lessons building a robot, so the teachers can take it to BattleBots.
I think they gave it a go.
But
It did have a little blade.
No, I'm not interested in talking about it. Let's move on. Radioactive won that one.
The fight, it was so bad it could only be shown in slow motion. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. Because it was terrible.
Radioactive won, somehow. Hypershock and Mohawk.
This is a great one. Hypershock.
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 Probably one of the most handsome drivers in the competition.
Mr. Bales, he
Mr.
is.
Will
He cuts a
Bales.
fine. He cuts a fine look. holding his controller.
Yeah, he looks good with the controller.
Yeah, all ready and waiting.
Gripping it.
Shouting at his brother and his dad.
Yeah.
Across the thing.
A family feud.
A family feud here. Too early on, I think. Mohawk.
Too early on, yeah, because they were next to each other in the pits.
Exactly.
And they're having mind games with each other.
So Hypershock has got big old drum, which is awesome. Drives down like a little beast. Only just finished. Has got hydraulics, but they weren't finished.
Yes.
Because some punk didn't do his job properly. That's probably what happened there. I wonder if that was Taylor or Tyler. We really need to find out who those guys are.
We're going to have a Hypershock special at some point.
Good, that's good.
Don't worry.
Mohawk is his brother and his dad, veterans of BB, and they've sort of got a flaming piercer with eyes.
Yes.
Because we all know what we do with a bot that's not that good.
Although it is quite nice. It's got Mohawk and things. I don't know why they've had to put eyes on
They
it.
shouldn't have bothered with the eyes because the Mohawk was plenty. Maybe make the body less boxy because it was quite wedgy. Anyway.
If they could make it smaller and have the arm a bit bigger, it would
that
look
would be
cooler.
awesome. But what happens here is it gets hit by Hypershock. One hit.
KO'd.
Boom! And that was it. That fight was so fast that you blink and you'll miss it.
Sorry, Dad.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Right, then we're going to go back to Complete Control.
And Ghost Raptor.
Ghost Raptor.
Raptor.
So Chuck has regained control of himself.
Yeah.
The Derek Young and his team.
He's pushed those feelings deep down.
They've pushed the feelings down. Derek Young and his team they've polished up their suits. They've got a little bit more naked underneath them. And then they're coming in for a proper fight.
Chuck is just like, I want to destroy their bot.
Chuck is gonna destroy their bot.
He wants to rip it open.
He's gonna rip their bot open and gonna get
ram it
right
with his
inside
blade.
them with this one. He's furious. Yeah. He's actually furious. He's gonna get those feelings and he's just gonna ram them into him like that.
Yeah.
So he's on the edge of fury at this point. You know, because of the bad net problem that was before.
I would be too.
You're right.
If someone nets my bot,
you're gonna be furious.
No.
So immediately, Complete Control rips off, doesn't it? It shoots out forward at the beginning of this fight.
Yeah.
And hits the arena floor, a ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know what it does at this point? Bends its drive.
Brilliant.
So now it's not going to be going anywhere. And Chuck capitalises on this.
By hitting the wall.
By driving into the wall a number of times. He spins his weapon up, his helicopter weapon, and you know what? That bot looks so unstable with that.
It does.
I'm not sure why anyone didn't say to him, hey, Chuck, that doesn't work. But you know Chuck, he gets furious with people. And he doesn't...
You realise this is the best engineered BattleBot ever.
No, so people have got they can't be questioning that blade. And then he hits the wall. He hits the wall with it, and then he hits Complete Control with it and breaks it.
Brilliant stuff.
And then after that, it's a pushiness, isn't it? Pushy aroundy. Complete Control has got a lovely burner on it, but it's got no control over itself at all because it's ruined its drive.
And it does get a little bit of a roasting on Ghost Raptor at one point, but not really.
No, and then done. Ghost Raptor wins.
By judges.
Judge's decision.
Right decision?
Yeah, I think so.
Smashed its own blades though.
Yeah, but at least it was being aggressive.
I think really there are no winners here.
I think you're right.
Handbags at dawn.
That is a good... One of my fights has been called that before. But you're right.
Not by it. I mean, Craig Charles isn't calling this one handbags at dawn.
But it is handbags at dawn.
But it is. Good times though. And then we got the wild cards.
Oh, let's choose the wild cards. Oh,
But we don't get to choose them.
Sorry, I thought we were going to choose them for a minute.
They asked us, but I saw the email too late.
No, what is wrong with you? Couldn't we just turn the bolt back a few minutes and then do it again?
It's too dangerous.
Okay. So can we go through the wild cards then?
We've got Overhaul.
Overhaul. So
The boys from MIT.
The boys from MIT, because of their coloured hair, they went through for
Is
that.
it just boys on that team?
No, I think it is. At this point, I think it's just boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Chomp.
Chompy, lovely.
Witch Doctor.
Good one. Good choice.
Warhead.
Of course.
You can't really say no to Warhead.
No, Warhead's going through.
Obviously, there's that other very promising British bot still in the competition.
Oh my god.
The plastic hammer bot.
The plastic hammer bot.
But I think really we need some better representation.
We definitely do.
And Warhead nailed it. Plucky underdogs.
The plucky underdog. Definitely.
Cool. So that was this episode.
Yeah.
We had some questions actually.
We have got some questions.
Got a question about flippers from a guy called Duel. He's from Arizona.
Oh, awesome. That's amazing. What, from an Americoin?
He's an Americoin.
That's amazing.
He's got a question about UK versus US flipper launcher bots. We've mentioned that Americans don't use CO2 cartridges while UK bots do, which is why the Robot Wars launcher strategy seems to depend on how many flips they've got in the tank. I mean, it does with nitrogen as well, surely.
Well, CO2 or nitrogen. So
you've only got a finite number of flips.
What was his question? What do they use in America?
Well, he knows what they use in America, I think.
What did he say?
And then, what the heck is powering Bronco?
That's what I mean.
So we've spoken about this.
So Bronco is powered by nitrogen.
Yep.
Okay. So
can you please explain the difference between UK and American launcher bots?
Okay. So essentially, they're all the same. They've got the same similar bottles and valves and control, etc. They're pretty much the same. However, the British, let's be proper and include
Scottish can build flipper robots as well.
Scottish are allowed access to flippers.
And the Northern Irish are definitely.
And the Northern Irish. So
not forgetting the Welsh.
The Welsh, yes, indeed. And we're not including Cornwall as a different country, although some people would like us to, Chris.
That would be weird.
That would be... Totally, he keeps on bringing the flag out and parading it about.
Who's been doing that?
Exact Chris, that person from last week who sent a question in.
Let's beat him up.
I think we should. It's good old British way. Beat him up, put him back in the Union. Anyway, so so the question is, the things are very similar. However, the gas is not similar and behaves in a different way. Now, CO2, you can have your gas storage can be a lot smaller because it goes to liquid at room temperature with a much lower pressure.
Okay.
Whereas nitrogen will be gas at room temperature unless you freeze it down, aka liquid nitrogen, because that's exceptionally cold.
Very cold, yes.
But at room temperature, it would the actual PSI would have to be phenomenal, like millions, to be able to get it to actually go to gas at room temperature.
Okay.
So the pressure in itself is the thing. Now, because CO2 stores in a liquid form, you can have a smaller bottle and have more liquid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the liquid obviously there's a lot more flips in liquid because it boils up into gas.
Yes.
Are you getting that? Yeah.
Yep.
And nitrogen is obviously a gas, so your bottles are bigger. So you're going to find that your flipper bots in America are bigger than your flipper bots in Britain.
Yes.
And essentially,
number of flips.
You're going to get, well, a similar number of flips depending on how much gas you can take.
And I think his point is Bronco seems to have an infinite number of flips.
Bronco definitely does not have an infinite number of flips.
But he's very careful with them.
That is the key. Count. What you need to do when you've got a flipper robot is make them count. You don't flip off all the time.
Yeah.
You just control, and then boom, give them one.
And I think in the UK, our fights are often edited.
They definitely are.
So it seems like they're doing a lot more flips in a short space of time, when actually they're probably doing the same amount of flips in a fight as Bronco would.
Yeah, but actually, do you know what? A CO2, you might well get more flips out of it. Now, the Americans don't use CO2 because there is a propensity for teams, and they know who they are, to heat their CO2 bottles before matches, which is at best dangerous.
It's naughty.
You should not be heating up your CO2 bottle. Obviously, It does have a burst disc, so it would go off, but it's pretty bad to be warming up your bottles. Now, I know that in Glasgow, in the future, people would really welcome warming up their bottles. However...
But not to a crazy amount. Not putting
with
them over a stove or something.
Forced heating element around them, yeah.
Just putting them in a room that's a bit warmer.
Exactly, that's fine. But not putting a heat jacket around them and warming them up to crazy levels. So, also, they freeze down the fittings. Nitrogen doesn't do that. So if you've got your fittings frozen down, you could have a buffer tank, which is full of gas, but frozen, and then your robot's all turned off. As it thaws out, you get another flip, and it can open up on its own.
Oh, okay.
So there is that as well. That can happen.
Cool.
So that's the reason. I hope that wasn't too garbled. We had one from Johnny. The old BattleBots, they used to have an end-of-season Mega Rumble where they put 12 robots in the arena, and it was just chaos. Why don't they do that anymore? I don't know.
They're quite expensive.
They're quite expensive. There is that. The amount of, if you had flames and bits and pieces, I think that would be difficult to control with all those people driving robots. And I'm not sure it would make great telly either.
Probably before, when you put 12 robots on, about 6 of them would still work.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. So,
I don't know, probably 12 robots at the end of the last BattleBots still functioning.
There you go. So, there you go, Johnny. It's probably just too expensive. And not probably the best television either. Cause
better to just have 4 3-way rumbles, probably.
There you go. Put in the rumbles. It's all about the rumbles.
Yeah. Cool. Any others?
That's it.
Cool. Next week we'll have another episode.
Yeah.
We're having a bit of a break at the moment, really, aren't we?
We're not having a break. We're still doing one a week.
We're doing one a week, but
we're going to do some specials.
We're going to do some specials, but we've got a lot of planning to do. But we'll keep up the one a week.
Yeah.
And we'll keep plumbing away. So keep listening, keep sharing, keep
sharing,
liking,
keep
telling your friends.
Exactly.
To watch BattleBots and
I think
Robot
next
Wars.
time we'll do Inside the Shop as well, because we might have something to talk about then.
Yeah. We're going to get back into it. It's just, it's a bit relaxed at the moment.
It's a relaxed time. And the time travelling part is really taking it out of us.
It's exhausting.
We're going to have to find a different method for next time.
Yeah, the time turner just doesn't work.
Well, it did work. It's
it
just
works,
a lot of turning. Your
it's
fingers are hurting, aren't they?
Tummy turns.
Now, so we're going to have to travel back now. So, okay, guys, I'm going to start turning the bolt, and you can finish up for us, sir.
Yeah, I've been Will Sedgwick.
I'm Gabe.
And this has been Inside the Bot.
I didn't like that late hit.